Hi, this is Engage New York, Module 4, Lesson 8. Our objective today, read it while I read it out loud. I can relate a fraction of a set, so a fraction of a set, to the repeated addition interpretation of fraction multiplication. So that's going to be our goal today, is how to put those two things together. First, though, we're going to start with some fluency practice. And with our fluency practice, we're going to use some measurement. We're going to convert some measures. So let's just start at the top. Let's run through a few of these together. So 1 foot is equal to how many inches? 12 inches. So 1 times 12 is 12, right? All right, next. So if 1 foot is 24 inches, 2 feet have to be what? 24 inches. So 2 times 12 again is 24. So we're working in increments of 12, right? All right. Now, 3 feet. So if 1 foot is 12 inches, 2 feet are 24 inches, 3 feet would be 36 inches. So 3 times 12 is 36. So 12, 1 foot is 12 inches, 2 feet is 24 inches, 3 feet is 36 inches, 4 feet are 48 inches. So 4 times what again? 12 is 48 inches. 10 feet, so if 12, 24, 36, 48. Now we're going to jump all the way up to 10 feet. 10 feet, so what are we multiplying by? Multiplying by 12, right? So 12 times 10 is 120 inches. 10 times 12 is 120 inches, right? Or 110 times 12 is 120. All right, now, so in our feet, when we're working with feet and inches, we're working in increments of 12, right? Okay, so now let's go to pints. Pints and cups. Are you ready? All right, so 1 pint, you know, the little pints that you used to get at the store, usually has cream in it. Okay, 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So 1 times what? 2 is equal to 2. I wonder if you can figure out the pattern that we're going in here. So if 1 pint equals 2 cups, 2 pints is equal to 4 cups. So 2 times what? 2 is 4. 3 pints, if 1 pint is 2 cups, 2 pints is 4 cups. 3 pints has to be what? 6 cups. So 3 times what? 2 again is 6. Then we have 9 pints. So we're jumping again, but what are we multiplying by? 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 2. What are we going to multiply 9 times then? 2. 9 times 2 is 18 cups. 9 times 2 is 18. So that's how you figure that out. You could even make someone in your house this for the kitchen. All right. Now, we're going to work in yards and feet. So before we were feet to inches or inches to feet. Now we're going to go yards to feet. And there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So this becomes 1 times what? 3. So what are we multiplying by? So up here we're multiplying by 12s. Here we're multiplying by 2s. What do you think we're going to be multiplying by here? You're right, 3. So 1 yard is 3 feet. 2 yards is what? 6 feet. So 2 times 3 is 6. Then we have 7 yards. So what are we multiplying by? 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So hopefully you're noticing how important your multiplication facts are to know them. in all of this. Because if you don't know it and you have to look it up on a chart or use your fingers, you're going to get behind really quick. So we're multiplying by 12s when we're working with inches and feet. Then we're multiplying by 2s when we're working with pints and cups. Then we're multiplying by 3 with yards and feet. Now let's go to gallons and quarts. So if that's a pint, a quart is that skinny versus that gallon, that big gallon jug. Okay. So the gallon versus the quart. How many of these fit inside one of these? So 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So what do you think we're going to be multiplying by now? All right, 4. 1 times 4 is 4. So now you have the multiplication pattern. So 2 times 4 is 8. 2 gallons is 8 quarts. So 2 gallon jugs would have 8 of these quarts inside of it. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Then we have 8 times what? 4 is 32. 8 times 4 is 32. Okay. Knowing your multiplication facts is absolutely imperative in order to do well in 5th grade math. You have to know those. All right, here we go. Now, switching back to some fractions. So as you know, when we introduce things like this is coming, right? That's just your little, you're getting your getting your mouth wet with just a little dab of what's coming next. All right. So now we're going to fractions as whole numbers. So we're going to turn these fractions into whole numbers. So let's go ahead and start, and then I'll let you keep going, and then you can come back and check your work. So 4 halves is equal to what? 2. If I have 6 halves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I had 6 halves. How many wholes would I end up with? 1, 2, 3, right? 3 wholes. Okay, 12 halves, 6. 52 halves, you might have to do some division if you don't know that, is 26. How about 40 20s? 4 20ths is 2. If you had 40 of those all broken out, 60 20ths, 3. 100 20ths, 6. Okay, 740 20ths. You might have to break out your division if you don't know that this is 37. 10 fifths, 2. 15 fifths, 3. 45 fifths is 9. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to go through and I want you to complete these on your own. And then I want you to come back and check your work. All right, so let's go through it. 15, 2, 3, 8, 14, 2, 3, 5, 18, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Hopefully you did try that on your own and now you're just checking that. All right, we're moving on now to multiply a fraction times a whole number, which was the lesson, which was all 4-7 yesterday. So let's go through it. Okay, if this is equal to 12 and I'm going to divide it into 3 sections, how many will be in each section? So 12 divided 3 is 4, right? So you're going to have 4 in each section. But if I'm now going to multiply by a fraction, if I'm just trying to figure out how much is in one section, I would change that 3 into a third. So 12 times 1/3 is how many would be in that one section? You're right, it's 4. Okay, so yesterday I was showing you 3 units is equal to 12, right? And we solved using this strategy, right? All right, so now today I'm going to go to another way of showing you how to solve those. All right, so now I'm going to use cross canceling or cross multiplication. So 7 divide 28. 7 goes into 7 one time. 7 goes into 28 4 times. 4 times 1 is 4. Let's try it over here. 1/4 times 24. So remember, you're trying to find a piece of this whole. You're trying to find 1/4 of this whole. And that multiplication sign really means the word of. So 1/4 of 24. So 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 goes into 24 6 times. 1 times 6 is 6. Then 1/8 of 56. 8 goes into 8 one time. 8 goes into 56 7 times. 1 times 7 is 7. Now, if you can't do this, go back to this technique. You're taking the fraction. Remember, the bottom of the fraction names how many units you have total. All right, now 3/8 times 56. Now we know 8 goes into 8 one time. 8 goes into 56 7 times. 3 times 7 is 21. Now you could draw out a model, a tape diagram, and work this out just like we did yesterday using this method, or you can cross cancel. So let's try it again. 12 times 2 6. So 12 of 2 6. All right, here we go. 6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into 12 two times. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we have 1/5 of 20. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 24 times. 4 times 1 is 4. All right, so pick your strategy. Pick which works better for you. Do you like working in those units that we did yesterday? Or do you like using the cross-canceling method? All right, here is our application problem. Sasha organizes the art gallery in her town's community center. She has 24 new pieces to add to the gallery. 1/6 are new pieces of photography, and 2/3 are paintings. How many more paintings are there than photos? So she has 24 new pieces to add to the gallery. So that is our whole number, right? Now, what's different today is 1/6 versus 2/3. They have 2 different fractions here. So what I want you to do is I want you to try to figure out, how could you break 24 up in order to figure that out into 6, into 2/3. I want you to try something and try to pull something apart. Try to figure something out. See if you can find how many more paintings there are than photos. Then come back and check your work. Check to see what I did here. Okay, so hopefully you picked up on this right here. Two fractions of the same set. So look, here is my set that I began with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 6. And I was just trying to figure out 1/6 of 24. So 1/6 of 24 equals 4 units, right? So 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be 24 pieces. 24 pieces cut up into six sections. There would be 4 in each one. Now, we are taking a fraction of the same set. So now, what if we took this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and broke it into thirds? Now, there are two. Here's 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? This is now, they're equal sections. We have 3 sections. And if I had 2 sections, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, or 4 times 4 is 16. But that doesn't actually answer the question that's being asked, because the question is, how many more paintings are there than photos? So you have to take your 2 answers, your 16 and your 4, and you have to say 16 minus 4 is 12. There are 12 more paintings than photos. All right. This is like a typical problem that would show up on a test right here. So going back and reviewing, trying this on your own, making sure you understand how to do it is really critical for being successful at the end of the section, the end of the module test. Things like this pop up. All right, this will do it for our fluency. So go ahead and meet me back here for concept development.